Hey guys, how are you? I'm doing this video at night. I hadn't done a video at night for a long time, but this time I have a little, the camera is a little better, I mean, and yeah, I just wanted to do something to upload tomorrow in order to be ready for next Tuesday, which will be the day you will see this. So I just wanted to talk about what I like about going to see movies. And as you know, I really like doing movie reviews. I have done Studio Ghibli reviews in Spanish for a long time now. We're almost finished. I have done recently many reviews of movies also in English of many new movies that have been coming out, but I haven't really seen anything new since Okja maybe, or I don't know, also since Spider-Man Homecoming actually, because I saw Okja before, but the review came afterwards, whatever. So yeah, I have seen various videos about movie reviewers in the US, and many of them have in common that they say that in the US it's really annoying nowadays to go to the movie theater to go to see a movie. And I wondered why that is, and they explained that it's because people are essentially rude now. I mean, people love to get out their phones in order to check out their WhatsApp account or whatever account, Instagram, Facebook, all the things, even answering phone calls, or they are bored with the movie, so they check their phone the whole movie, or they talk, they comment everything on the movie a lot. And yeah, I kind of understand that, and I think it's quite rude too. And of course, they also talk about the food inside of a movie theater. So yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about that here in Colombia. And the last time, I have been in the cinema like 3 times this year, which is more than normal for me. And before that, I went when I was in Barcelona. I went there like 3 times also to the movies to see movies that I really wanted to see. The Hunger Games, the last one, Hunger Games. I went to see. Almost went to see X-Men Apocalypse, but I didn't. And Force Awakens. And recently I have seen Rogue One, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Alien Covenant. I'm planning to see another one soon, but not maybe not until I can see Thor Ragnarok. Maybe Dunkirk. I don't really know, but whatever. People here, sorry, here the offer in cinemas for foods and stuff. It's really the same that in the United States. Nothing really changes here. I mean, they also sell nachos with cheese, and they sell popcorn and popcorn, sweet popcorn that has this awful smell. I hate it. I like to eat it, but I hate the smell. It's really disgusting. In many theaters in Colombia, there are cafes, Juan Valdez cafes, so you can get your coffee there or your fruit drink or whatever. You can get sushi, you can get ice cream, you can get chocolate bars or little snacks in bags or hot dogs or of course soft drinks and Slurpees and all those kinds of stuff. You can get every single thing of that. The only thing that bothers me of that in the theater is not even the smell. The other day when I went to see Spider-Man Homecoming, a couple with a child was sitting just one seat over me, and I didn't smell anything the whole movie. I just noticed they had food because they passed in front of me to sit down, but I didn't really smell anything. The awful thing here is afterwards when I was waiting for the scene that plays at the end and whatever, and when I saw the floor when it went black, the screen, it was really dreadful. I mean, the poor cleaning ladies. I mean, they were buckets like this, like huge buckets, because big buckets are big buckets of popcorn. I mean, the popcorn wasn't even hadn't been eaten even. I mean, even more than half of the popcorn was still there, and they had to clean that. And people just throw things in the floor. I mean, they don't give a shit basically. And I only had a small popcorn and a soft drink, and I grabbed both of the things and I just threw that on the bin. I mean, there's a big ad that plays before the movie that tells you to do that, to throw your shit in that bin. And people don't do it. People just leave things because they think they have people to do that in the cinema. And maybe, I mean, that's true, but and that's true in the sense that if you spill a soda, for example, someone has to come and clean it. Or if you are scared and your popcorn flies all over, someone has to come, of course. But it's not their job to clean your shed when you can clean your shed and you just are too lazy to go to the bin that's like at the bottom of the movie theater and just throw things there. And it's not even in the bottom; it's in the exit. It's on the other side in order to not to keep the smell in it and all of hot dogs and things like that. But besides that, it's really not annoying at all. People complain about cell phones in the United States. People here sometimes check their cell phones, but it's at the beginning when they are turning down the volume or telling people not to talk to them for 2 hours or something, and then they pull it out as soon as the movie comes out. And there's the same phenomena in planes that in movie theaters. When it cuts, people just run away. And it's funny because it was Spider-Man Homecoming and I knew there was a post-credit scene, but people know that there are post-credit scenes, but they just run the fuck out. So it's really funny that people cannot wait like 2 seconds or 2 minutes or just to see who was in the movie, their name of the director. I don't know, it's out of respect, maybe because I studied that, but it's out of respect that I sometimes I don't wait for the whole credits, I'm honest, but just at the beginning, like, oh, that actor, that's the name, whatever, and just check that and then I'm out. But I don't, like, I'm not like, okay, I couldn't, it's like they couldn't wait for it to be over. And that's sad. I mean, that's really annoying. Of course, something that annoys me a lot in movie theaters is children. I hate to go and see movies for children. I don't even remember the last time it happened. I think it was the last Harry Potter or something. That there was a child and he was like talking and screaming and crying, and it was really fucking annoying. And in this movie, in Spider-Man Homecoming, there were many children. It was a dubbed version, so of course people will bring their children there because children don't go to subtitles. The children were very well behaved. They only laughed when they had to laugh, let's say, and they were there. You could only tell they were children in the moment that you needed to know they were children. The rest of the time, that was good. The only thing was that the couple that I was telling you before, they had a child, and at one moment the child started to complain that the movie was too long and he was bored and he wanted to go. So I think people have to really know how to choose their movies in order to go with children. Children are not going to stay still for longer than an hour and a half, and the movie was over 2 hours. So I will really take care. And although it's sad because that movie is really for families, so it's kind of weird. For example, when I went for Alien Covenant or even The Force Awakens, there was no children, like, at all, and that's great. Movie theaters here in Colombia are really good because they all have like the inclined version of a movie theater. It's not like all flat and you just have to look up. No, that doesn't exist here. It's always like a staircase from up to down. Let's say, I don't even know, like an amphitheater, if you will. That's the format. So you just have to avoid the first rows because that cinema was packed and people in front, I don't know how they saw the movie because it's awful to sit in the front, but it was really packed, and there are great screens in general in Colombia, at least in the big cities. I don't know, in the smaller cities, I don't really know the cinemas, but the big chains. There's Cine Colombia, there's Cinemark, which is from the US, there's Cinepolis, which is from Mexico, and there's a couple of companies from here also, not only Cine Colombia, Royal Films and others, and they are really good. They're all really good, and they're all really, really good. The only ones that I haven't liked are the Cinemark ones, but it's not like they suck or anything, but they're not as good as the other ones. So yeah, what else? And what does annoy me in the theater? What does annoy me is when people start speaking a lot. I really don't like that when they start commenting the movie. And actually, I went with my mom to see Spider-Man Homecoming, and she kept asking me things about the comic books. I was like, Mom, I don't know anything about the comic books. I just know these people from the animated series, and I guess, I just answered as fast as I could and just kept on watching the movie. But I had to keep on watching the movie because if I didn't hear, I got lost. I mean, because it was dubbed. If I had subtitles, I could have read and hear at the same time. It's kind of crazy. But I really hate when people talk in movies. That's what really annoys me, and that doesn't really happen that much. When I went to see Wonder Woman 2, no one spoke. No one spoke. I mean, the only time someone spoke was when a little girl said something and everyone laughed, and that's it. That's the only thing people, or when a sound was heard. I mean, besides the movie, of course, it was really good. And in Spider-Man, the laughs, and in general, people are very well behaved here in movie theaters, which I think because it's still one of those experiences that you don't really do that often. There are people that go a lot to the cinema here, but most people, I would say that they go 2 times a year, if so. I mean, if they have money for all of that, because for some people it's kind of expensive. And it is true that in some areas of the city it's cheaper, in others not so much. So you really have to choose where to go, if you can choose, or just like save a little bit, because many people here make going to the cinema a big experience. So it's just not about going to the movie, but also eating something before or after, maybe having an ice cream afterwards, talking about the movie, maybe go to a bar afterwards if you're in a couple or a friend situation, or things like that. You never just go to the cinema here. It's really uncommon. It's normally combined with other activities. So I think that's why people are very respectful of the act of going to the movies here, and that's it. It's great to go to the movies here. It's not as expensive as in Europe, or in Europe it was cheap in the theater I went, but in general it's really expensive to go to the movies. In the US, even more. I don't know how people pay all that much to go to the movies, and they go like many times a month. I don't know how they do it. Better salaries, I guess. So it's quite amazing to me, to be honest. But yeah, I think people are great here in theater, especially in when the movie is subbed, or maybe when it's at night. The hour at which you are going to look the movie. It's better if you go at night, actually. And yeah, I mean, in general, it's a really good experience. And the only bad things that I have happened to me is that people sometimes talk a little bit too much, but that's not really that often that happens. And the mess afterwards, that disgusts me, and it disgusts me more because I'd hate to see food being just discarded like that. I am really, have never liked to see food thrown away. Basically, I just hate that. So maybe that's why. Sorry for this very long video, and this was about a lot of things and not really the first thing I said, so whatever. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment on whatever is your experience in movie theaters, and subscribe to my channel, please, and share this video in your social media. Thank you so much.